is going on? Welcome, everybody. Chat's already blowing up, man. Good to see
Yeah,
everybody
awesome.
in the chat.
Yep.
Welcome to the AMC Live Cast. This is one of your hosts, Mike, the Scale Model Outlaw, and right below me is the awesome fellow. Where is he? He's here somewhere, right there. There he is. There he is. There he is.
I'm back. I can breathe again. I'm Jason from KRD. How's everybody doing? I got to say thanks to everybody that sent me concerns and text messages, emails. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are all awesome.
Yeah, we were worried about you last week, bud. We muddled through, but we were worried about you.
Barely. So is Mama. So is Mama.
Good to see you back. Good to see you feeling better. I know you talked to me earlier this week. You were still sounding a little rough then, but you definitely sound a lot better now, and it's good to have you back.
Thank you.
We're a 3-wheel show, not a 2-wheel show. Me and Bruce were pulling our hair out.
He don't have any.
Yeah, I don't even have any. I know that. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a shine. If you guys hadn't noticed, I'm not at my workbench. I'm in Jacksonville at a motel room going to the JacksCon. But before we get into all that, we cannot forget our awesome producer, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, Mr. Bruce.
Hi. I had to switch cameras. They're going, wait a minute, I'm on the wrong camera. Can't push the right buttons today, I guess. Greetings, I'm Bruce from Bruce's Eclectic World.
Welcome. What were we going to talk about next? Do we want to talk about our guest or do we want to talk about our shout outs first?
Let's do our shout outs.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Our awesome producer will let us know who's up first.
Well, let's see which one I find first.
It's always a mystery. Hey, Chet. Hey, Boston Buds.
Yes.
Mike's
up, Joe. Mike's up first. All right, awesome. My social media shout out this week is to our good friend Larry over at Larry's Model Shop. He's got a little over 700 subs, but if you guys haven't got him subbed, go check him out, man. Larry's a great guy. He's a follower of, I think, probably all of our personal channels, and he's been spending a lot of time here with us on Thursday nights, and we're proud to have him. Larry, you're a great guy, and we want to give you a shout out today. So y'all go check out Larry's Model Shop.
Awesome. I love Larry's channel. Larry is one of the first ones I subscribe to as well. He does some really cool builds.
You're very welcome, Larry. Thank you for all you do, bud.
I love how it takes these out.
This is the joys of doing it live, right?
Yeah, it takes them out of order.
Oh, no. We'll get there. Oh, Miss Klein's in the house. Hey, Miss Brenda. Thank you for calling us, letting us know what was going on last Thursday. And thank you for dealing with our brother and getting him better. We appreciate that for sure.
Well, that's strange. Where's that?
Tin Man. What's up, Tin Man?
I know I got it pulled up.
Chat's looks like we got 31 people already, man. Chat's blowing up. But while Bruce is working out his little conundrum, I'll let everybody know that I'm currently in Jacksonville, Florida, going to JacksCon this weekend. So I've got a model car show. I know we all love going to model car shows. Looking forward to it. It's actually doesn't start until tomorrow night, but I wanted to get up here a little early and get settled in and relax a little bit, have some fun. It's supposed to be a 2-hour drive, but it's closer to 3 hours for me because I decided to leave at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is rush hour from where I was at and where I was going. Hey, Chris, you come? Hey, Fred, Chris, you coming to JacksCon? Mr. Henry, I know you said you were going to be here. We look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, that'll be cool to see how many people you see down there this weekend, Mikey.
Yeah, I know Fred said he was coming. I'm pretty sure. I know Mr. Tom's coming. Old Tom, he'll be there.
Yeah.
Again,
I did see that in the text. He was in the group text. So
behind the scenes, hey, Mr. BG, what's happening, buddy?
I found it.
All right, we got it.
We found it.
Trevo Pete. There we go, folks.
There it is.
No, that's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one.
That's Frankenstein. Yeah, we did him already.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
It's Ed
No, no
Shootdang
problem.
models. You want me to just wing it?
Yeah, just go ahead and wing it.
Just wing it. Just wing it. It's all good.
All right.
That's what it's supposed to be.
There it is.
My
There it goes.
shout out is going to be Ed's Shootdang models.
Models.
He's relatively new. He's got about 300 subs. Really cool guy. He's even participated in the Pay It Forward group builds. He sent me this great shop card with some nice kind words on the back, and then of course has messaged me to make sure I was doing okay as well. So thanks a lot, Ed. Thanks for trading shop cards. And if you haven't checked out Ed there, go over and check him out and give him a sub and tell him that AMC sent you.
Sweet. Yeah, I've checked him out. He's got a lot going on over there, man. Lots of cool stuff.
Yeah, I apologize about that. It said oops, and I hit the refresh button, and that's what came up.
No, it's okay.
It's all
all
good.
good.
All right, folks.
No worries.
And
What's up, RKD? Welcome.
Hey, Terry Wilson.
and mine is
Da-da-da.
modeling with Mike.
Not this mic.
Not that Mike. No,
Not this
this
Mike.
Mike.
I ain't
And,
subbed to him.
I don't know that I'm sub to him either.
Yeah,
That's a good
I'm
one.
gonna have to sub to this.
If it wasn't for Larry over at Larry Model things there, I wouldn't have found him because he shouted him out. And I thought, hey, that's cool. And I subbed to him immediately because see this little girl right here laying on the couch?
Right.
Oh yeah.
That's Misty.
Oh,
To
okay.
me, that's all the reasons I need to sub to this guy.
Yeah.
So he's got 88 subs. I was like
Nice.
number 69.
Let's see if we can't get him up over 100, man.
Yeah.
Let's get
No,
him
he's
up over 100.
he's doing some great work here. I mean, he started out with doing tools and budget-friendly model builds, and how he starts his model kits. This other one's first one's a new one. I ain't seen it yet. So yeah, run over there, everybody. Give him a
That's it. Tell him the
like, share,
AMC shit.
subscribe, and tell him AMC Live Cast sent you, and thank Larry for the link.
Yeah.
Larry's
Thanks,
awesome,
Larry.
man. Larry is
Hey,
awesome.
William.
All right. Well, next up, we got somebody behind the stage. He's probably fell asleep back there in the green room. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I can't even look over my shoulder because he's not in the next room next door. But without too much further ado, we want to bring him forward, Mr. Billy Strange.
Yes.
Ta-da!
There
I can find that
Here I
button.
am.
Yay!
Bruce found that button.
All right.
Mr.
Oh,
Billy, how you
I'm
doing,
Billy.
sir? Welcome to the
Oh.
show.
Long-time viewer, first-time caller. Can I do that?
Yes, you
Sure.
can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. That's awesome, man. Billy's, we met on at the same time I met Matt at the 48-hour group build on one of the Discords there. Yep. Well, Billy, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What's your background look like? How'd you get started in the model stuff? Give it all. Lay it out, buddy.
Man, let's see if we can truncate this a little bit. So out here in Northern California, as far as the model stuff goes, if people get curious about other things, then wait, no, let's narrow that scope just a little bit. Stop it.
You can't
Stop
let
that.
him run. You can't let him
Let's
run wild.
yeah, okay. So I've been into hobbies of car stuff ever since I was a kid. So my dad was into models when I was a kid. He also raced cars. So we've always been an automotive family. So we were racing slot cars, RC cars, and he helped us build model cars, my brother and I, when I was a kid. We also did video games, stuff like that. So we were always doing something. And so we've always been an automotive family, helped us build models. My dad never quit building models. We got interested in doing other stuff. And then probably last year, about March, is when I started seriously building on my own. I would hope I was building on my own at this point. That would be, hey Dad, can you still no?
I laid the glue down. I need the
Yeah,
paint.
can you please glue this for me again? So yeah, I started building last year because my brother got back into it probably a few months before that. So I started pestering them, my brother and my dad, about, well, okay, well, what do I need to do? And then I had already been doing YouTube since 2013.
What were you doing then?
That I started out kind of doing, I think at that point, doing what everybody tried to do, which was cover video games. So I had started watching YouTube about 2010, and that was the height of like old school YouTube, where it was really kind of raw, kind of the Wild West of YouTube. And I watched people like Angry Video Game Nerd and and a bunch of these weird channels. There was what was his name? The Cynical Brit. There was a guy that covered video games that I really liked. Anyway, I wanted to do that because I had a library of video games, and I quickly realized that wasn't going to work because I couldn't cover all that stuff. I had way too many varied interests, and what I really knew well was car racing video games. I have a whole library, just consoles clear back, starting from the Nintendo forward. I'm not kidding. Almost every console you could think of. So I started trying to do all these videos on car racing games. And then that kind of segued into getting into the PC space with sim racing. And I ended up partnering with a channel called Inside Sim Racing and help grow that channel. This is probably around 2016. So I started doing YouTube late 2013, just before, I think I was trying to gear up for the PS4 and Xbox One, if I remember right.
Sounds about right.
I think that's what it was. And this is when I realized that I can't do everything. So I narrowed my scope. And then I want to say 2015 is when I started really getting into PC sim racing. And then I tried a few times to get on with Inside Sim Racing because they were asking for help because their channel was growing. Got rejected twice, I think. And the third time, I ended up getting on with them. And at this time, I was also racing big cars. So I was racing dirt sprint cars at the time. And I was doing a little bit of road racing as well with 125 shifter carts on big tracks. So like Sonoma, Button Willow, Laguna Seca, stuff like that.
That's cool.
So then I got on with Inside Sim Racing and learned a lot about production, working within the industry. I ended up doing a lot of consulting. I went to E3 and presented, not on the big, like, you see those guys do the big presentation like Xbox and stuff. I didn't do that, but like on one of the smaller booth areas, I ended up doing presenting on one of those for the launch of Assetto Corsa Competizione, if anybody's familiar with that stuff. And so yeah, I was with Inside Sim Racing, helped grow their channel to over 100,000 subscribers. Kind of went along, and then I decided to break away because they were transitioning. The guy sold the company. I decided to do my own thing. And then throughout the pandemic, I kind of fell out of love with just that whole space. It became extremely competitive. YouTube kind of changed in that time period for sim racing as well. I just stopped having fun with it just in general. So fast forward to doing the model thing. I decided I want to do the model thing. I wasn't having as much fun with creating content for sim racing and just in general with sim racing. And I started doing the model stuff, and I'm like, well, I can do this as well. I still like making content. I just don't want to do sim racing content. And it was kind of like trying to get my feet wet. And then when I looked up the model car content stuff on YouTube, I was like, wait, there's model car content stuff on YouTube? I had no idea. So all of a sudden of course, I'm trying to absorb everything, not just from a content standpoint of like creation, but I just started absorbing everybody's tips and info. And I, like, at an accelerated rate, just started understanding how to paint, what tools to use, like everything. And I still do it. Like when I'm watching everybody's stuff right now, I'm still absorbing everything that I can and then trying to implement that on my builds. So like in a very short period of time, that's what I was doing. I've enjoyed the hobby. I've enjoyed doing this stuff on YouTube. I've gotten to meet a bunch of great people, which has allowed me to then go to shows and meet people that I've met through YouTube. And I'm in 3 clubs now.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm part of, so it's funny. It's every Tuesday, except for the 3rd Tuesday of the month. So first Tuesday, I meet with a club called City Styles, which is purely automotive. Second Tuesday is Silver Wings, which is an IPMS club. And then the last Tuesday of the month is a Folsom FASM.
Okay.
And that's the last Tuesday a month. And they're very eclectic. They have a lot of sci-fi, but they also have a lot of plain military. So they're all over the place too. So yeah, I'm in 3 clubs. Like I'm all over the place. Yeah. And since March of last year, like I've gone to like 8 shows.
I was going to talk about that. You not only got back into the hobby, but you got back into the hobby running because you've brought home some iron from some of these shows. Am I right?
Yeah, I've been pretty fortunate. The first, let's see, I want to say like the first handful of shows I went to, I didn't bring home anything. So that's probably like first 4 or 5 shows I went to. And then I think the first time I brought something home was, I don't know, it was like September of last year. I got lucky.
So that little orange van, right?
Actually, it was my white Porsche was the first one. Porsche, I took, that was for the Porsche group build for the Scale Model Car podcast. I finished that one for the group build, and it was literally the night before that show. So I took that in my silver Mercedes, the C9, and that C9 had not won anything prior to that. It ended up getting 3rd in the competition class, and there was like 15 or 20 cars in the competition class. I was totally surprised because before that, nobody looked at that car. And then I ended up getting People's Choice at an IPMS show for the white Porsche, which I just about fell over.
Right.
I was very surprised. I got very lucky with that.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I got really lucky. And then after that, Jason, the next one that I went to, I got a silver for the van. And then after that one, I got a 2nd place for the van in custom. So yeah, I've been pretty lucky. I'm not gonna lie that it does feel good getting the awards, but that really wasn't my goal. I know how it is to put on events. I used to, with my dad, we used to own a hobby shop, and we had, my dad and I built hand-routed wood tracks for the store for slot cars, and we would put on races every Wednesday night. So I know how it is to try and organize events and have people participate. And I want to go ahead and participate. Yes, it seems very strange. No, it's completely normal. It's all a figment of your imagination.
The one thing I will say that I'm very jealous of, because I still do a lot of stuff with my father, and it's mainly just the full-size stuff. That's what he's more into. But you and your father are going to these shows, and you're still actively building together, and that's really cool.
It's very cool. Yeah, you're blessed with that for sure.
Yeah, I'm extremely lucky that throughout most of my life, my parents have they've always been very supportive. Whether it's been when I was racing RC cars when I was little, I was one of the, not the first, but when I was a kid, I was one of the first kids to be accepted to actually get a card with Roar.
Okay. Nice.
So
Yeah, 'cause they
for
used to
RC
have a
cars.
rule of 18 or older. Yep.
Yep. And I was one of the first. I was like 5 years old. They told my dad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They told my dad that I had to be 5 and before I could be the club, and that because the club was with Roar,
Yeah.
I had to be 5. And this was during the period of, if anybody remembers this, I don't remember. I'd have to ask my dad, but this was shortly before or during the Francises, Matt and Mark Francis and
Yep.
all this. I had a grasshopper, to me, a grasshopper, and my
Yep.
brother had a Hornet, and my dad had like a Kyosho, maybe it was like an Optima or something.
4-wheel drive or
at the time.
2-wheel?
It might have been the 2-wheel drive.
Yeah, then
I
it'd
think
be
it was
the
the 2-wheel.
Ultima, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the 2-wheel.
Yeah.
So, and then my dad ended up buying me the RC10 when it first came out, and that's when we started like really getting serious.
Yep.
So
Gold pan car.
Yep. So I've always been very fortunate. My parents have always supported me and my brother. From there, we didn't really have much money, so my dad always worked, as well as my mom, always worked extra odd jobs to do stuff. And then we got to run quarter midgets for a little bit, and then we just kind of ran out of money. Ended up running track and cross country. And then later on, I did music. I still do music. So I played in a band when I was a teenager. And then in my adult life, did that. And then when I started racing sprint cars, when I was 27, 28, my dad, here comes my dad and my brother, like we all went racing.
Wait just a
been
second.
no different.
You skipped over something, and I'm sure that the people would love to hear a little bit more about it. Let's circle back to that band thing. You're in a band.
That's what we were going with.
I know all
He did that
about
on
the band
purpose,
because
Elvis.
I happen to have a sticker on the side of my white van that says "President of the Billy Train Fan Club." We call ourselves the Strangers.
Stranger things.
As long as it's helping you out, that's all that matters.
No, well, shoot a plug out real quick for your bands. People can find them on YouTube. It's not my kind of music. I can appreciate the production and the sound. It's just not my. But if you're if you're into some really good rock and roll, heavy stuff, what's the name of the band?
Band is Skyline Red,
Skyline
Red. It's on all the streaming platforms. Fairly consistently come out with new music. It depends on how often we can get into the studio, how often we can release something. We just played a show a couple weeks ago. We're playing another show next weekend. So that kind of determines when I can go to model shows too, because sometimes they conflict each other.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
looks like Matt's a huge fan. If you're looking in the chat, Matt's a huge fan.
Yes.
To get the train back on tracks about modeling, Mark asked a really good question back in the chat a while ago. When you got back into the hobby, what was probably the biggest thing or the biggest difference change from when you were doing it as a kid to coming back as an adult? In your opinion, what was the biggest thing that you think had changed in the hobby over those years?
Good question.
So I stopped building, probably my guess is roughly somewhere around 12 to 13 years old. And my dad was still helping me quite a bit. I was trying to build really, for my skill level, fairly complex stuff. So like I had built the JPS Mustang, the Trans Am car, and I needed help with that. My skill just, I needed help building the roll cage and some of the other stuff. But I remember like trying to paint, like sometimes I just didn't paint. That car, I didn't spray the body, but I do remember spraying the Davey Allison car. And I think I built the Sauber C9, the Tamiya one. And my dad showing me how to spray with a rattle can and then gluing and doing the paints and stuff like that. So I would say the biggest difference is the level of tools available, the amount of things available. Like the 3D printing stuff is amazing to me that you can get now. And just the quality of stuff that's available and the variety of things that are available. I look at, the kits now are cool. Like we're getting repops, but we're also getting, new stuff that's nice. Being able to get a hold of the Japanese stuff is in my wheelhouse. Like I love the JDM stuff.
Yep.
So that's cool. Having the ability to have disposable income and go and get some of the stuff that I missed, that's nice.
Yeah.
But I guess I would say like probably we had Tamiya rattle cans when I was a kid, but the Mr. Color primers are really nice.
Yeah.
Like those things spray really good.
That black 1500, I love that black 1500
Oh.
mix 50.
Oh, the 1500 stuff is sprays so nice. And like now that I'm just starting airbrushing, like I didn't get to airbrush, so I have nothing to compare it to. But listening to like my dad talk about just the clears that were available and then the airbrushes that were available and stuff like that, I can,
awesome.
I look at the stuff I have sitting around my desk. I'd say we've got it pretty good right now.
We do. We really do.
I think that personally, I think we're in the golden age of modeling. Between, like you were saying, Billy, with the 3D printed stuff, the online ability, the Discords, these channels like these lives, the YouTube itself, the amount of information that's out there now it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, I would say that the ability to do, this kind of thing, everybody in chat, like I see a bunch of people in here. Hello, everybody. But, everybody in chat, all of the channels that I watch, I learn something from, and then I get to apply that in my builds. I've only been building since March, and the accelerated rate that I get to build at because I learned from you guys, people in chat, and then, going to the shows and getting inspired, getting to talk to my dad, that's kind of stuff you got to do before. But the thing we get to do right now is I get to learn in a completely different way than I might have gotten to learn when I was a kid, just because of the information that's available online. And
or even
the
the way
accelerated rate that I get to do it at is pretty cool.
That is awesome. Yeah, for me, like I said, when I got back, it was obviously the online stuff, but the availability of the 3D printed and the detail in the 3D printed. And speaking of that, we're about 30 minutes into it. Bruce, am I pulling the trigger a little early, or are we ready?
You're just about right on time.
Okay.
Yeah, roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yes, roll that beautiful. If you guys don't know, we got new sponsors, so we're going to roll that beautiful bean footage. We'll talk about them a little bit when we get back on the other side. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
And next one.
And number two.
Number two.
That is awesome. That is so cool. Billy, I'm sure you're familiar with VCG. Have you purchased any of Josh's stuff? He's got a great line of products.
He has an amazing look. All the 3D printers have amazing lines of stuff. I just need to find uses for all of them. So, like, I've not every time. Well, okay. I went to go grab something from Josh's store and it was down the other day. So, like, I didn't get to purchase anything from the store, if I'm going to be very transparent. But yeah, I'm a little, so here's my conundrum with the 3D printing stuff is I tend to look for a slightly different style than I seem to see from the 3D printers because my roots are in JDM style stuff. I often don't see, I'm a big like wheels guy. I don't often see something in this style that I want because I don't like the super thin rubber band tires, but I also don't like the really tall profile tires either. I'm always looking for something in the middle. I'm often looking for something like an OEM plus for my cars. That's kind of where I sit. So stuff from guys like Zoom On and sometimes from Texas 3D seem to work, but not always. But I have made purchases from like Iceman, MCV. Is that right? No, I said it wrong.
Model car videos. Yep.
Yes, I did. I did say it right. So yeah, I'm always checking everybody's site for new stuff.
I think
that's kind of where I sit. Is if people want to make stuff like that, I will take everything. Like modern wheels, modern wheels and stuff like that. I will take it all. I just haven't really found that yet.
Do you have a 3D printer? Or have you ever been in
I am not going to get one because nope. I am not touching that. And the reason for this is I want to build.
That's it.
I've Ted and I from Ted from Rattle Can Shenanigans and I have had multiple conversations about this, and he is like, look, do you want to do that or do you want to build? He's like, he's like, you will get to build, but your build will be significantly smaller. Like your time to build will be significantly smaller if you start getting into 3D printing. And he's like, so you kind of have to make a choice. And I'm like, I've got way too many ideas going on or really rattling around in this empty space up here to want to do than mess with the 3D printing stuff. So they all do, every single one of them does great work.
They do.
I've seen people put them on their cars. I have this thing over here has nothing but 3D printed parts in it. Like I've purchased a bunch of 3D printed stuff and it's all fantastic. And it is literally set aside waiting for builds. I have them marked out and everything. So I'm going to let the people that know how to do it, do it. And I am perfectly happy supporting those people. So
absolutely. I'm in the
you
same
guys
boat
keep printing them. I'll keep buying it. So that's why I said, I'm just waiting for people to make the styles of wheels that I want. And I am in.
That's it. I'm in the same boat with you. Jason and Bruce both have printers, and our other sponsor, Chris from Scale Speed Garage, he produces the files and he has different levels of stuff, and he's offered us a great discount. So we definitely want to give him a shout out. I want to say hey real quick to Mr. Jameson from Scale Finishes.
James is in here.
And
it is a hobby in its own self. It really is. You can carry 4 or 5 hours on your computer monitor and you not even turn the printer on yet. So
and I already do that. Yeah, I already do that when I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing to begin with. So like I don't need to add to this. So yeah, I like the idea. I often have to curb myself with some of this. Like I like the idea of finding and being able to print my own stuff because it sounds very intriguing. And of course, you guys see Frank in here. Hello, Frank. I've watched Frank's video, like this is very cool, and then I have to remind myself that I am going to get lost completely. Not lost like I don't know what I'm doing. I mean lost like rabbit hole lost.
Designer lost.
Yeah, in the 3D printing part, because I already do that when if you ask some of my friends in the model car clubs about me just painting spoons, trying to figure out when I'm doing a streetcar, what color I'm going to paint something. Like I'm painting 30, 40 spoons, just trying to figure out like what shade I'm going to paint something. I don't need to add to that with a 3D printer because I will be like, ooh, that wheel, oh, that wheel, this wheel. And then I'm never going to get anything done.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
That would be, I can totally relate. I don't have one either, but that would be me. I'd be more worried about trying to print something. I'd come up with 10 ideas for one car build and then never get the car built because I've just spent all my time printing.
Frank, stop it. I can see your chat. I'm not doing it. Make me.
Like what Leon says, everybody go down there and smash that like button for us.
Thank you, Leon. Yep, go hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for us.
He's always reminding everybody. Thank you, Leon.
Him and
awesome, man. We appreciate you.
Yep.
And to that point, earlier, kind of circling back, I got to meet Leon. I got to meet BG. That I know I say this in my videos quite a bit. I know we're kind of jumping backwards here, but
that's all good.
Going to a show,
hey Marcy,
is so much fun. And if I can impart anything from my YouTube channel, is going to the shows.
Amen.
Not only does it support the hobby, but really you're missing out on just the fun of meeting people. And I know, like I said, I've said this so many times, but I'm going to say it again because I don't care. I'm gonna pound this into the ground because putting your stuff on the table will inspire somebody else. And when you put it onto the table, all the flaws that you see fade away, and people are just happy you put your stuff on the table. And then you get to talk to people about what they did. Somebody asks you what you did. And then, like I said, went to the NNL West. I got to meet BG. I got to meet Leon. I got to meet a whole handful of people. I just got to meet somebody new this past weekend at the Fresno show. His name's Bob. I wrote it down because I was going to forget. Bob at King Scale Modelers. He's brand new channel. I got to meet somebody for the first time that watched my channel. Always appreciative when somebody comes up to me and says they watch the channel. But not only that, just anybody in general. It's so much fun going to a show that I just want to encourage people as much as possible that if you are not going, and the key is bring something. Bring something to the show. I cannot stress this enough.
Yeah, this show, I'm up here in Jacksonville now. For those that are getting in here a little late, I'm in Jacksonville now at the show this weekend called JaxCon. And last year when I went, combination of intimidated and probably more than anything, I was intimidated. Right, I didn't bring anything. And to circle back what you were saying, I met a lot of really cool people. I met Fred Henry, Brian, Papa Z, and everybody that I met asked the same question. What did you bring? Where's your model? Where's your model? And I didn't bring anything. And that was probably my biggest regret, was not bringing anything to the show. Maybe it wouldn't have won at first place, but like you said, it might have inspired somebody else, and I could get inspired by somebody else's. But talking about meeting people at shows, though, I've had the pleasure of hanging out with BG for a weekend with Jason, and she's a whole bunch of them. And but you're right, going to the shows and meeting these people, it's amazing. Just awesome people.
Go Bruce.
Yes, sir, Bruce.
Since you're talking about shows, anybody watched the show last week knew it was my birthday, right?
Yeah.
Well, then my kids came down for Friday and Saturday to celebrate my birthday, and I got the best birthday present in the world.
What'd you get?
I got a trip to Georgia to Acme for my birthday.
Yeah.
That is
The
awesome.
hotel room's already paid for.
Right.
Nice. That's cool.
So
Excellent
everybody
stuff.
that's in the chat that's going to be down there, I'll get to see you.
Perfect.
Including my gang here.
That's it. We will definitely be live from Acme then, because I've already got my room reserved. It's good to go. So there you go, Billy. Now you got to jump on the plane and head east.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work out this year. I don't know if it's going to happen this year.
I've been holding that back for a while. I had to throw that out there. I thought good time is any.
Perfect.
Fun.
Good. Good. You're going to have a blast.
It's a good time.
Yes,
sure.
I am looking forward, and I've already got my cars picked out. Now I'm figuring out how to transport it all. Tool kits, repair kits, the usual stuff I've never done before. But hey, we're excited to go.
It's going to be a good time.
It's
a great show anyway, but for you guys to be there, just more the better, right? It's always going to be a good time. But so what are you working on now, Billy? What you got on the bench now that you're gluing together beside your fingers?
I think I saved all my paint mistakes for bodies for this rally car that I'm trying to finish for from Card Scale Dreams. This was supposed to be for his off-road group build, and this guy right here, the body for this has been a nightmare. I keep messing the paint up, and it's all me. I'm the one messing it up. So this is the first car that I've done airbrushing with. So all this in here has gone fantastic. I used all clad for all the engine stuff, and then I mixed for the first time Tamiya lacquer and painted the seats and the interior stuff, like did all that. And then we got to the body, and I don't know what my problem is, but the first time I put too heavy on the paint, that was all me. Sanded it down, sprayed it again. That went well. Got an aftermarket set of decals. These particular aftermarket set of decals, you don't use solution, apparently. Never dealt with that before, so I completely messed those up. So that didn't work well. So I had to start over, and then I've painted this thing like 4 or 5 times now because I've just done stupid mistakes. I burned through the paint one time, just dumb stuff. Dumb.
That charger that I'm bringing to this show, I did, went from the monogram body to the Revell body because I couldn't, there wasn't nothing wrong with the paint. It was scale finishes paint. We all know that's great stuff. But the painter, on the other hand, messed it up. But we were talking about the rally cars, and I think, Mr. Bruce, we got something for that. I
just seen the comment.
All right.
Let's roll that beautiful bean footage again.
In the castle.
Bruce, I need to delete that one.
Hey, we should host another group build sponsored by the podcast.
Sure, but it needs to be a race car this time.
Yeah, something that can race on asphalt or dirt.
And night and different types of weather. That would be pretty cool.
And can fly.
Wait, what?
What you talking about, BG?
Hey, I got it. Rally cars.
Yes.
What date should we run the build for?
How about January 31st? It can start and go to December 31st. That's a good amount of time.
Sure, I can work with that.
Okay, but I gotta say, I'm a little concerned about the defying gravity thing. I haven't had much luck in that lately.
Join the Scale Model Car Podcast 2025 Rally Cool Rally Car Group Build and build that rally car model kit that's been sitting on your shelf ever since you brought it home from the hobby store and said, I'm gonna build that one day, because now is your chance.
That GTO at the end, oh my God. Pouring salt on the wound for poor Chuck.
And I am going to plug the Scale Model Car Podcast just because maybe the next episode might have somebody.
What?
Just maybe. I'm not saying who. Just maybe. I don't know who.
That guy?
That guy?
I don't know.
That guy. Where is he? That guy.
If you're not a regular listener, number one, you should rectify that. Number two, the next episode might even be better. Because somebody might be on there. I'm just saying.
That's it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, we love those guys over there. Got a couple. Looks like we got 3 of them in there now. Good old Chuck. He never shows up. He's always got something going on, but we get it. But yeah, we love the Scale Model Car Podcast, and we're big fans of the Insanity Podcast as well. Those guys are really good people. Learn a lot from them. But And again, that circles back to what we were talking about as far as what's out there now for modelers. I mean, these podcasts are out. There's so much information, so much stuff out there. Definitely the golden age of modeling, I think. It will be the best show ever. Chuck will say it every time because he means it every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Every single time. Yeah.
Did you, to plug mine a little bit, did you guys see the awesome rally car that I picked out for the build? I can't show it to you because obviously I'm not in my shop, but.
You're not thinking ahead of this? What?
I know I should have brought it with me.
Fired.
Yeah,
Fired.
I got mine
Well
right
done.
here.
Right?
I don't have one
Well
yet.
You don't have one yet?
I don't have a rally car. Not in my stash. I don't. No.
I didn't either. I had to buy one, but I'm looking forward to building that pace. That one Bruce has got is really cool. He was showing that
cool.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Bruce, you got that handy where you can show it?
Yeah, and I want to thank Kyle over KRD RKD Scaleworks for getting
Looking
this. Well, pointing it out. He didn't get it. He pointed it out, and I went and got it. And where am I at? I can find the buttons.
That's
There
cool.
we are.
There, that is a really, really cool rally car, man. Who
Yeah.
would have thought that?
I love it because
Wow.
it's so unique. Like I pretty much guarantee there's not going to be another person doing a 450
No.
Mercedes Benz.
No.
Yeah.
I love it. Look,
Yeah. The
I'm all
price
over the
was right,
place.
too.
I love all kinds of cars, and that's why this hobby is really bad for me. I'm all over the place.
I will
mean-
agree with what Kyle just said. He has been giving me a lot of bad ideas.
Oh, God.
I love it.
Oh, God.
Kyle's a great dude.
Yeah.
It's not what you know, it's who you know to ask. That's
Right.
right.
Well, I picked my little pacer out. I think I'll probably have the only pacer in the rally car group build as well. So
You are probably correct.
it's not as cool as the Mercedes, but it's cool.
That
It's
is also
cooler than
correct.
Dang It. It's
No,
cooler than
he
Dang
did-
It.
He did go above and beyond because he sent me like a list of 15 links
Wow.
and descriptions of what he thought they were, how he liked them and things. I mean, he went all out on it. So thanks again, Kyle.
That is cool. That is very cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Talking about group builds, how many group builds do you get into? We know we talked earlier about meeting at the 48-hour group build, Billy. Are you like us and get involved in too many?
Okay, so I bit off way more than I could chew last year. I managed to hit a few deadlines, but I clearly, like, again, that rally car was supposed to be for the off-road group build, and then I'm working on the USAC group build. I've gotten this far. That's as far as I've gotten. So
What's
where we made it.
Comment up there, Bruce.
The pacer
I'm sorry?
gets the pieces.
Dang.
The Pacer rally car is the car that gets the pizzas after the race.
See there? That's why that guy needs to be on the radio. He's got that golden voice.
I didn't see it. I was busy watching Billy.
So then over here, there. Well, I can do this. Wow, look at me. So that guy right there, that's supposed to be for Mike, for you and Jason's short track group build.
Yes.
Oh, nice
Yeah, haven't
car.
started that one yet.
Bushman
Well,
car.
don't feel too bad. I'm only a couple steps ahead of you. I'm just.
I got
mocking mine up.
decals and everything and a color picked out for it. Haven't started it though. And then this one right here, that's for Woody's Dave rock and roll group build. So I definitely bit off more than I can chew. So I've made a resolution here that once I am done with those group builds, that if I happen to be building a car or going to be building a car that happens to fall within a group build, then I will join the group build.
There you go.
Other than that, I'm definitely biting off more than I can chew, and I would like to meet deadlines. I don't like not completing the the timeline. I don't like missing that. And I know there's soft deadlines. Like I know this is not that serious. I know nobody's going to die over this, but I do like participating. I like supporting everybody's channels as much as I can, and I like participating in these things. So I don't like missing that deadline. But yeah, oops.
Well, I feel you. I'm thankful that Jason is forgiving on his. He has a timeline, but I'm thankful that he's forgiving because I got right at half of the way through that AMX that I'm building for him and realized I've only got a month and a half to build my USAC. So I've got to put it in. I got to put the AMX in the box and get going on the USAC, so I'm not late for 2.
Yeah,
Jason,
Maybe
your
I'll-
group build
maybe I'll
deadline
put it
isn't
on
soft.
Wednesday.
Wow.
Deadline
The
isn't-
truck you started this week can cover multiple builds. Is that cheating? Only if you tell them. Hello, if you keep them separated and you don't let each other know, then what stays in Vegas.
what happens stays there.
Exactly. Well, if you don't think that I'm entering that 67 Charger because Acme this year is 100 years of Mopar and anything drag racing, if I don't get another one built, you can bet you I'm going to be either entering the 68 Dart that's a USAC build or the 67 Charger as my 100 years of Mopar. Maybe both if I'm really lucky, but I won't be building one specific. I'm hoping to get a drag racing car in there too, but we'll see what happens there.
Nice.
That's the
I
start.
gotta get my butt back to the bench this weekend. That's for sure.
Well, I'm sure we all do. Bad habit of chasing that rabbit, right?
Oh,
Going down that rabbit hole and just going and going and going and going and going. and going.
I try not to do that. Like the only reason I started the Dart is because I was waiting on the new set of decals that I messed up with this rally car, and then trying to fix my paint mistakes. But I find that I stick with a build, and the reason for that is if I was just to give up on this thing, there are several things that I've learned by continuing, and I don't get that wound up about the mistakes that I make. I don't want to like smash the car. I mean, yes, I do get frustrated, but I don't sit there and like want to just, launch the car across the room or anything. So when I make the mistake, I don't learn anything if I just kind of like put it in the box and just put it away, right? So I want to make sure that when I make the mistake, I'm like, okay, so how do I fix this? And I either, look it up on YouTube, learn from one of you people, or I ask my dad or maybe somebody in the club and then try to fix it. Okay, did I fix it right? Did I mess up the fix? How do I fix that? And that's what I'm learning when I'm doing that. So I don't give up on a build. I stick with it. So I don't go off in different directions. Now, on the other hand, if you talk to my dad has like 4 projects going on at the same time. And I'm like, I just can't do it that way. But my dad he's a big engine guy. And so he likes to like do concepts first. He'll take the body and he'll start like messing with the body, and then he'll build the engine. He'll kind of like let that sit there. And then he'll go on to the next thing and he'll conceptualize, he'll build the engine, and then he'll kind of like look at that. Well, what if I do this? And he'll mess with it a little bit, and then he'll come back to this one, and then there's another one going on, and then he'll leave it. I mean, he's left stuff for years, and all of a sudden he'll be like, I wonder, and he'll pull that back down, and all of a sudden he'll just finish it out of nowhere. I'm like, what? Where'd that come from? Oh, that was like 15 years ago. I just decided to finish it. I'm like, okay, sure.
I find that if you put them away, now it's a double-edged, and Jason brought this up last time I talked about it. It's a double-edged sword, right? So we'll use the AMX that I'm doing for Jason's Street Machine Group build. I put that away. I find it takes me, once I bring it back out, it takes me a couple of days at the bench to get warmed back up, kind of figure out where I was with it. And so that's the sharp edge of the sword, but the good side of it. And like I said, Jason brought this up to me. I started on that Pacer way back when I got back into the hobby. And because I've done other stuff and I put it in its box and I put it underneath, I've done other stuff. I think it's going to turn out better not necessarily the longer I wait. I do need to get it done, but I've had some time to grow a little bit, get some skills, pick up on some stuff, especially with my painting. I still got a long way to go, but I'm much, again, they're not looking exactly like golf balls, maybe a little bit more like tennis balls now, but so I guess it's a double-edged sword. So it can either be a good thing or a bad thing. But I try not to get too many. You don't want too many of those zombie kits.
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Yeah, Jimmy, let in.
We're kind of getting towards the end. I was just going to ask Chad if Chad has any questions.
Yeah.
Like we can do like a, kind of rapid fire. We can take care of any questions anybody's got or whatever. Not that I have,
Yeah, if you got anything you'd like to
not
ask
that I have
Billy.
a bunch of experience in this stuff, but whatever.
Well, Kevin's asked twice what the origins of your last name.
Yeah, what's he wants to
Oh, okay, so I know
You're
my
not related
son
to
looked
Jeff
this up.
Strange, are you? From Strange Axles?
No, I'm not. Not as far as I know, at least. But I do love the logo.
Yeah.
I don't remember if my son said it was ours is French or you know what? I have to ask him again. I don't remember, but he knows because he looked it up because at one time I remembered and then I forgot. And so then he looked it up and I would have to ask him. So I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, we got two really good questions. I'll hit them to you rapid fire. Jason wants to know where you get the really cool shirts, which we all know you get them at the really cool shirt store.
That is exactly where I get them from. The really cool shirt store.
And then
which I'm not sponsored by.
Well, you might be after this. You never
There's
know.
Lucas.
And there's Lucas.
The brand of hair gel. Well, it's not hair gel. Thank you.
Dapper Dan. That's Dapper Dan. He's a Dapper Dan man.
Dapper Dan guy.
We're more sophisticated.
Cool
hey, look, we're more sophisticated than hair gel. Blip, BLIP. Shift is where I get the majority of these shirts from. Blip
Shift. Okay, that's cool. And it's like a motorsports type deal, or
yeah, usually they do the thing where they do like limited runs. So they'll have them they'll have two designs, 48 hours. They'll be available. It's to get you to entice you to freaking buy the shirt right then.
Right.
But yeah, they'll go through, and so you kind of have to follow them to get the design that you want. But they're usually pretty good quality. Prints usually last a while, so I like the shirts.
Cool.
Yeah, Kyle.
And they're usually independent artists as well.
Sweet.
There you go.
So
Kyle knows what's up.
Kyle knows what's up. There is a question up there from Leon to Billy too.
Can you email me on the shows in Northern California, Billy?
Sure.
There we go.
I can do that.
All right, cool.
Next show, just since we're talking about it, next show for me, there is a kind of show / display here in Northern California. That would be the Autorama, which I think is May 2nd through the 4th. And that's in Sacramento at Cal Expo. And it's kind of just like a display thing, even though they do give awards out. It's kind of more like an NNL kind of thing. And then Silver Wings, Ted and I have got together with Silver Wings because we're a part of that. And we have put a higher emphasis on the auto section for their big show in Sacramento. So we've added a couple more auto classes, and that'll be in the middle. I believe it's May 17th in Sacramento.
Okay.
So we're going to help with that. Oh, and I got to judge for the first time. I got Elliot from Scale Effect, and one of the people from his club kind of learned me on how to do judging. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So now I kind of dip my toes into learning how to judge, which was fun. So now I can kind of use that knowledge going forward to help when people, every show is always looking for judges. So I feel a little bit more ready for that. So for my show, we'll we'll be a bit more prepared. I can help judge for that as well. And then I think we have stuff. There's almost every month in Northern California, we have a show.
What kind of turnout are you getting at these shows? I mean, are they like mixed shows as far as everything, tanks, armor, airplanes?
Yeah, most of them are IPMS.
Okay.
Most of them are IPMS shows. Yeah. Yeah. So especially SoCal seems to get more of concentrated for like car stuff. Northern California doesn't have too much concentrated car stuff. It's more of, IPMS style shows. I wish we could get the car stuff going. We did have the NNL, but that's no longer.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, if you had any insight to that. I know there's some scuttlebutt going around about people who starting to back up. Do you know if there's anything hot off the wire?
Yeah, not as far as I know. I do know that I was standing in line to get one of my cars photographed, and there were a couple gentlemen behind me that were a little frustrated that they had wanted to take over the show, but it was not announced at the show apparently.
Oh, okay.
And so they felt like that was going to be weird for them to get the name, so they weren't going to do it. So it sounds like there might be somebody trying to do something more in Central, but I don't even know if that's going to be a reality. So to put on something like the NNL West is a big undertaking. I'm not sure somebody's going to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, because there was even some gossip about it moving to Arizona too. So whether it's true or not, who knows?
It's gonna, and I don't even know if it necessarily needs to be called an NNL anymore anyways.
I think that's what BG was saying too. Like the loss of the show means that there's room for another type of show to take its place. I agree with that. Yeah. What? Wait.
Yeah, it's that was my first and obviously only one. It was very impressive, but I've also heard stories of, how it kind of waned in a lot of the years as well. So, it is in California, it is not a cheap endeavor to put on a show like that. There are a lot of moving parts, logistics, and depending on how inflexible you are at wanting to put on that show, i.e. the location, the amount that you're willing to spend, the style of show that it is, the more regimented you are making that, the harder it is going to be to put on a show like that. And I think at this point, it's been done for so long by a lot of the members. Some of the members are unfortunately no longer around. I think you just have a situation where money, time, it's just not that. It was not in a position, in my understanding, to really be passed on.
And the guy that was doing it, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't he like 40 years of doing that show?
They had been doing it a very, very long time. So
that's a long time. And then
and they not only did that, if you watch that interview with that was on Matt's channel, Lucas Sheik's channel, they had been doing other things as well. So that's a long time to do that stuff. And like I said, I don't know. I think maybe a pie in the sky idea was to pass it on, but I'm not so sure that that was a reality.
Yeah.
If I may be, if I may be quite so bold.
It opens the door for something new. Maybe it doesn't go by NNL. Maybe it comes up with a different name or whatever. However it evolves, right? If the whole hobby is evolving, why not the shows evolve with it? Or maybe it does pick up. But
I can see somebody else that has an existing show maybe trying to get the NNL banner for their show. Then
If it's me, and like I said, my family, my dad, we've put on things before in other hobbies, whether it's RC cars, slot cars, or hobby store, stuff like that. My suggestion, coming from an outside perspective and now having attended an NNL West, is to leave it alone.
Let it go.
Let that go out on a huge bang. It was a great show. There was a ton of cars there. I mean, I was blown away by the quality of the quality of cars there and the amount of cars there. I thought they had a great selection of vendors. I thought it was a great show. Very impressive. Let it be. Let that be the high note that show goes out on. You don't, don't soil or muddy the waters of that name by trying to extend it out to somebody else's show. I don't think you need to do that. I think what would work better is if you wanted to do a show like that and make it big, create something new, and make sure if you're going to create something new, have it be spectacular, just like that was right out of the gate. Don't ramp it up. Don't, make a bunch of mistakes and stuff out of the gate. Like, make sure you, as best as you can, cross all your T's, dot all your I's, and make it the best you can. Even if maybe the car count isn't as high and maybe your vendor count isn't as high, the national luminaries, what is it? The nameless national luminaries. There we go. Thank you. So hey, look, I watch Doug White's videos.
I know.
So don't mess with that. Just come out of the gate swinging.
Build your own.
If that's what you want to do, there is room for that. I think there is. I really do. I don't really think you need to mess with that. Just let it be its own thing.
Yeah.
Retire the name with the guys that work so hard to build it, right? So as opposed to possibly, create your own. Do what they did. Go out and create your own. The base is already there. They're going to be looking for some place to go. You can maybe put it around the same time. You can maybe even steal some of their format, some of their, what they do that everybody likes. There's a lot of different things that can be done. But
as far as classes go and stuff,
yeah.
There was a lot of things at that show that I saw that they did really well that are not done at some of the other shows that I've been to. So there's no reason why you can't, take things that they did there and implement them at your show, or if you've gone to other shows, obviously, and bring them into yours.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think you need to call it the NNL West. I don't even know if you need to use NNL. You can.
Or you can do what Tim says and just go to Acme. Just go to Acme and get it over with.
You could just go to Acme, right?
Yeah.
There's Acme has made itself obviously one of the premier shows to go to. There, you've got that. I think there's still room for something on the West Coast because obviously not everybody's going to go there. I think both can exist. But at the same point, not those two show. If you were to have a show on the West Coast, it doesn't have to be the same as Acme either.
Right.
So
you can pick some, like you were saying, you can pick some some foundation out of here, some foundation out of there, some foundation out of there, put it all together and make your own.
You can. There's plenty of room to make these things so that people have their own things to go to while still celebrating, NNL East.
Mm-hmm.
The going to Acme, still make it so that people want to go to those things, but you can also have something that people want to come to as well.
I vote we put it in Vegas. Just saying.
I'm not allowed back there. I'm probably the only guy on the planet that they were like, get out of it. You got to go. You got to go home. Well, Billy, being conscious of your time, we've rolled over here about an hour and 10 minutes. So,
you know what? I'm lucky. My bass player called in and he's like, I can't make it until later. So we are good. So it don't matter.
Good deal. Good deal.
PG's like, no, Jason.
Vegas makes my pants fall down. Oh, no.
Frank.
Frank.
Vegas is over with.
Yep. Frank, is that another one of your hobbies? Wait, what?
Too much information, Frank.
Oh, man.
Frank, that's why I'm not allowed back.
Good evening, Dean.
Dean, there's all kinds of, I think there's a space for all kinds of formats. Having participated in a few different ones, each one has its strengths. I don't know if I prefer one over the other. I've done the gold, silver, bronze. I've done non-competitive. I've done competitive. I don't know if I prefer one over the other, really. Maybe I'm a little different. I just like going to the shows. So I'm not in it to get an award. Not saying that it's not nice to be recognized, but I don't go. That's not my goal. If I was going and getting, a gold or something like that was my goal, I'd be doing a heck of a lot different builds than what I'm doing, So I'm building what I want to build. And if it happens to get something, then cool. Otherwise, I'm just going to participate. I'm going to support the show and the hobby. So I look at it as I kind of like that each show kind of has its own flavor.
Yeah. I agree with you. I build my stuff to what my interest is. And if it doesn't win an award, I'm fine with that. I'm just happy to participate,
We've said it before on here, and I'm sure everybody agrees for the most part. But it's you go to these shows. First of all, go to a show. Just go, right? Just for the social part of it, to be able to learn something. If nothing else, you get really good deals on kits and pieces and parts. But the cool thing about going to a show, and now I've lost my train of thought. But going to the shows, what was I going to say?
You started looking at the comments and you saw pants off, and that was the
pants off,
James didn't mess me up, man. It was the pants off thing. I can't even blame it on drinking.
That's what everybody comes for. That's the quality content everybody needs.
There we go.
There it is. The model pants off. That's it. But no, definitely go to a show, hang out, and enjoy it. It's well worth it. I'm thinking about trying to fit it in. Not sure to go to NNL East this year, which is in New Jersey. I've heard Jason's been there. I think Frankie told me about it as well. They say that's a really nice show, and I'd like to be able to go to that to be able to compare it to an Acme. But just go, be supportive of it, and get out there and who knows? Your next little show in California might turn into the next, we'll say it in air quotes, the NNL. You never know what's going to happen. Get out there, be a part of the hobby.
Yeah. They're a lot of fun. I love the shows. I really do.
Yeah, they are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I definitely look forward to them. I look forward to getting to see the people that I've met at the shows. I look forward to just seeing what's on the table. I don't know. I have a good time. It's like I said, for me, it's a good 50% of the hobby. I know it feels like a singular thing, but it really is for me. It's a driving force to try to get something done because I do want to show, like, even though like sometimes I'm like, man, I didn't get it done. Like the rally car, I wanted to get it done for the NNL West. I'm like, crap, I'm not going to get it done. And then I wanted to get it done for the Fresno show. And I'm like, dang it, I'm not going to get it done for the Fresno show. Crap. And it's not because I want to be like, ooh, look at what I did. It's more like I want to come with something new so that I feel like I'm participating with something new. Right. And so, I'm kind of like, I get kind of bummed because I'm like, oh, damn it.
Hey, Cliffy, what's going on?
Hi, Cliff.
I found my train of thought, and it's worth trying to repeat if I don't forget it again. It's
go.
great to go to the shows and get an award or whatever, but me personally, and I know we've talked about this before, but me personally, if I can get a builder or another model builder to acknowledge something that I've done that they think is cool, to me, that's a bigger pat on the back than winning Best of Show. You know, if an old Tom comes up to me and says, Mike, your paint's really improving, you know, you've been listening, and he's been helping me out a lot, and Brad, you know, for them to say, hey, I see an improvement in what you're doing. You can do a little better. Let me help you try to get there. But at the same time, you know, that somebody says, hey, those wheels are cool, or I like how you lowered that thing down, or I like the colors you chose, and how you, just anything like that is all, it makes you feel so good that somebody that you admire gives you a pat on the back.
Constructive criticism goes a long ways. It really does.
Yeah, I agree. That's, you know, that's Matt's main point is the same. So it's
I don't know. Matt's kind of mean sometimes. Just kidding, Matt.
Ouch.
Matt would be fun to get drunk. That would be fun to see.
Matt? Yeah, that would be fun.
Get him. Now all I can think of is Matt slipping into his Christopher Walken. Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
That's too much. That's too much.
That's pretty good. Yeah, and I just want to say, A, thanks for having me on the show, but B, you know, thanks to the model car community and, you know, people that put stuff, like content creators that put stuff out, whether you know it or not. You know, somebody like me that's new, I absorb, like, I am learning so much from people posting stuff that, you know, like, it helps me. It's helping people whether you know it or not. And even if you don't realize it, even if you think you're, you know, what you're doing is mundane or trivial, or, you know, here's me doing the same thing over and over. It's just like when you go to a show and you might be putting something down on the table and you're like, you know, maybe it's not that good. But to somebody else, it is. Somebody else you're inspiring. It's the same thing with YouTube, or it's the same thing if you're sharing your build on somebody's Facebook page, for instance. To you, it may not be that big of a deal. And sometimes, I know I get this way. It feels kind of weird sometimes because you're like, feels like I'm kind of bragging. Like, I get weird about that. But then I have to kind of remind myself that other people don't see it that way usually. And the people that do, I can't help that. That's not my intent. My intent is to inspire. Just like when I watch somebody else's stuff, I get inspired to do something, or I learn something from somebody. So even though I don't get to comment always or something like that, you know, I am appreciative of people that put their stuff online, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram or on YouTube. Like, you know, we all don't always get the attaboy or kudos or whatever. And I'd like to put that out there and say, I understand what it's like. So thank you for putting that stuff out there.
Well, we appreciate having you on here tonight too, Billy, because I know you're only been a short time, but you've been a very inspirational to a lot of people.
Oh man, thanks.
Videos as well. I enjoy your videos a lot. And then, you know, you've done some great interviews on, you know, Luca's channel as well, and them have been very entertaining, you know. So
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Well, we'll go ahead and tie this thing up. Billy, where can they find you? Where can they find you on the old YouTubes or Facebooks or whatever you want? Got anything you want to share with us where everybody can find you?
Yeah, Billy Strange Auto Models on YouTube. I know I've had a lull in content, and that's really just because, again, kind of getting my feet wet with building models and then trying to figure out kind of how I want to do content. I decided to do something different. I did not anticipate the rally car taking me this long. So my idea was to launch the new thing that I was doing with the finish of the rally car build. Maybe that wasn't such a good idea because it's taking me longer. But as soon as it gets done, like, I'm going to make an announcement, and that's going to kind of start like a rebrand. Matt was nice enough, by the way, to do a new logo for me and everything. So that'll launch a rebrand, and yeah, that'll be on there. And then you can always follow me on Instagram if you like. I don't really have like a Facebook page for people to follow me with the model stuff, but I post on everybody's Facebook groups, for lack of a better term. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for having me on.
You're always welcome to post on, I'm sure, the Jason and Bruce's and my personal channel. You're more than welcome to post up, on this channel, whatever you guys on whatever you want to do, get it out there. Content, we want to see it, and definitely appreciate that. So,
thank you.
Well, who wants to go next?
Bruce, go for it.
Go for it, Bruce.
Hi, I'm Bruce from Bruce's Eclectic World. Oh, wait a minute. That's the other end of this video. I want to thank each and every one of you all, for my hosts here, for being on the show tonight. Thank you, Billy, for coming in. Appreciate it very much. I love your channel and everything that you do. I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming tonight. We have lots of same people every week, and we appreciate and love each and every one of you. So thank you, Jason. I'm glad you're back and you can breathe.
Yes, glad you're feeling better.
And Mike, you behave where you're at. And don't spend too much money.
I'll try.
Yeah.
Have a good one, everybody. See you next week.
Bailing you out. We're not bailing you out, buddy.
I'm in Florida. I have a standing bail.
And Matt's giving me crap about I better say it, so I'm gonna have to say it at the end.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to go next. So I'm Jason from KRD, Klein Race Car Designs. Appreciate all the love on here the last couple of weeks. It's been a very rough couple of weeks for me, but we're standing upright, so that's a plus. And, of course, it's always great to have these guests on here. We've got another great one right here with Billy. And then all of you great people in the chat. This has been a lot of fun, a lot of high numbers, and we really appreciate it. And a special thanks to our sponsors, VGC Resins and our Scale Speed Garage. So that's truly awesome for this show to have sponsors already. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Sorry.
Billy, you want to go now, or you want to wait till after I'm done?
I'll do it after you're done.
Okay. Well, I want to echo what Bruce and Jason were saying. I say that every time because I mean it every time. Billy, thank you so very much. We were kind of short notice to reach out to you, and that's 100% my fault, but you were right on point, ready to go. We definitely appreciate that. I want to say thank you to the chat. Thank you to Jason and Bruce. Let's not forget to do our shout outs for the scale model car. The podcast and the Insanity podcast. We love both of those podcasts. Y'all check them out on all your podcast formats. Again, what Jason was saying, VGC Resins, y'all go check them out. AMC Live 10 for the 10% discount. And same way with Scale Speed Garage, y'all go check out Chris and them at Scale Speed Garage. This is your co-host, Mike, the Scale Model Outlaw, saying y'all be good, be kind to each other, and keep on modeling. But wait, Billy's got something for us.
All right. This is for Matt. You all have been great. I've been strange. Take care and have fun storming the castle. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Love it. See y'all next week. Peace out.
See y'all next week, everybody.
Night, everybody.